July 11th, Village Board Meeting. He said that he received a phone call, and he said since he's found that he doesn't necessarily have to have any permits, but since he's located in a floodplain, I think he's got to have permits, you know? So Dan said he's going to check right into it. These are the floodplain maps. This is Jim's house. And this is where the pole barn is located within the floodplain.
Yes, it definitely is.
So we got those to go up when that comes up. Yeah, I can get him another chair. There you go.
Hey, Greg, how you doing? I'm good. You?
John, you want to run a
I'll just use this one 'cause I don't
How's your day?
I am good. How are you? Goodness. For that note. Do you need anything else?
No,
to go
that's
over?
all right. No, that's... Just so I know what we're gonna do.
Oh, I know. I hear you. I put them up there. Did you not get them? I put them in there this morning.
Oh, okay. This book.
6:30, he was, by ready. I don't see anybody else showing up.
I don't think we got a quorum, do we?
3 out of 6. It's not
Three of them. It's a quorum.
Is it? I can't recall.
3 out of
Three's a quorum, okay.
Since there's only 6,
Have
we
to
have a
look it up.
majority of a quorum.
I thought it was quorum, but okay.
Call the meeting over. 6:31.
Mayor Waterman,
Here?
Trustee Krogman's absent. Trustee Balaguer,
Yes.
Trustee Comodina,
Yes.
Trustee Boggs is absent. Trustee Davis,
Yes.
Trustee Hinkleman is absent. Clerk is here, the treasurer is here, the attorney is here, and is it agreed we have a quorum?
I get it? My recollection, I can't recall, that's I'm being honest.
I don't,
Sure. Sure, take a look.
Pledge.
Can't recall. Is it 3 or is it not?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As long as you're gonna remember the majority of the officials, including the mayor, so we're all right.
All right, we have a quorum. Then we have a quorum.
Yeah, but you're probably gonna have to vote on almost everything.
Are we ready to proceed then, Steve?
Yeah.
Minutes for the June 6th meeting, first thing. Anybody got a chance to read them?
Make a motion to approve June 6 minutes.
Second motion.
You all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sharon, have you got a chance to read them yet?
Hold on.
We can give you a few minutes if you need to.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion's carried.
That was unanimous.
Yes.
Everybody got a chance to look over the treasurer's report.
Yeah, I want to make,
June 15th.
Oh, that's right, you have two on there, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm glad you're correcting me.
It's okay.
Yeah, our special meeting, we have to approve those
Hopefully
minutes.
we'll be able to get them approved, because two of us wasn't here.
Okay.
We'll approve them next meeting.
All right, then we'll put them back on next month's agenda. Got that down, Shannon?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll go to the treasurer's report, if everybody's had a chance to look at it. If there's any questions?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I just want to point out that there's a revised one there that's highlighted. And the stuff that's highlighted is what was revised. My mistake. And as far as on Sherry's, it's just the check number was a different number. So that's the first one.
What do you, you can find
Approve the
it.
revised.
On Shauna's, last time I put that it was the supplies, but that was her May pay, and she cleans the hall. It was 3 weeks of cleaning the hall.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? You're abstaining? Are you abstaining?
No, I said aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear you. I apologize. Motion is carried.
We approved the prevailing wage ordinance last month. I guess we need to ratify that.
There was no changes in that one, was there?
No.
I'll make the motion to ratify the prevailing wage.
Can we even turn the air down? You guys speak up, because nobody's in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Haven't heard anything.
I'm not tall enough to reach that.
Pretty short too.
That was better. Yeah. Last month, we approved the prevailing wage ordinance, which we have to do annually, and we're just
It's already been
going
approved, so I can
to
just
ratify
cancel it.
that
What do you need?
motion to
It's
accept.
already been passed.
Moves to ratify.
Steve, you made a
It's
motion
special
to,
meeting.
Two, just.
Okay, I don't think
accept
To ratify
what
it?
was.
I won't hurt.
All that means is anybody that does any work in the village has to pay prevailing wage. If we would hire someone to clean ditches, to work on roads, whatever, they have to pay for that.
I second that.
Do they have to sign a waiver for that? To
No,
work or
it's
no?
just state law. All cities are tied into that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion is carried.
Okay, at our special meeting for the porta potties, we had to up our amount. We couldn't find anybody that would do it for that $60 that you had quoted.
You know, I called that place, and they said that they do not come out to Cleveland anymore. They said they used to, but they don't come out anymore.
Okay, well, we ended up finding them for $65, so we had to amend that to a $210 max, which only comes out to $195 a month for the 3 porta potties. But we need to ratify that increase on
Are
that
we
porta
still-
potties.
Are we
But
still
once
sure that
again,
we need 3 of them?
well, I don't know. It's up to you guys.
It's getting pretty expensive for porta potties all summer.
The river's been up so much, we haven't had to use it, the boat ramp that we normally do, and we haven't had much use at the pavilion, but I really think you need one at the playground.
Could one of them go? Could we take the one from the pavilion then and just have the one at the playground?
Well, I mean, that's up to you, but if you have people at the pavilion, and then they have to cross that street, and what's safety versus dollars here? I don't know.
We'll end up with $1,000 in porta potties.
By the end of the year. Yep.
What's your thought?
What about doing like 2 of them and then do the third one once the river goes down? Because it's been up for most of the spring and summer.
It's on its way down. I mean, within a week, it's going to be back to its normal.
And them things float real easy too. I'm surprised at how little water it takes to float one of them. I had to go pull that one out of the water and up on the bank down at the boat ramp.
Well, we can see how it goes. What was our amount?
It's $195 a month for 3 of them, $65 a piece.
What did we allow for? Not to
$210.
exceed two.
$210. Yeah, I think when we at last month's meeting we set it at 180.
190. I
Or
can't
190
remember what
versus
Leo
what-
said.
You had quoted us what you thought we could get them for.
Right.
Then when we couldn't find them for that, we had to amend that. And we put it at 210 on that Saturday meeting, which it's only costing us 195. Do we keep 3 or do we want to back one off?
Let's keep the 3 for a month and let's table this.
I did call one other place. It's called ESI Porta Potty. For 3 porta potties a month, it's $165, but that does not include cleaning. Cleaning is $12 per unit.
Per week.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to clean it every week.
Oh, okay.
With this one, you pay for the cleanings when you want them. So I don't know if we want to. I don't know how dirty they get. But
Well, I doubt if the one at the playground's even been used, but
Can I make a comment on the playground while we're talking? My grandkids went down there. A bunch of kids are coming down from back, and then they got into the porta potty at the playground, and they started locking each other out. I had to go down there and get them out of there, run the kids out of there. So it really, not sure if the playground is really they're playing with it. I don't know if they're damaging it or not, but the kids are coming. There's a bunch of kids coming back up the road here, messing with that porta potty. I don't know if they damaged it or not. I just ran everybody off. There wasn't one there when we put it in. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I didn't want to have to go police it.
Yeah, I've never been inside any of them this year, so.
I think your suggestion probably see it for a month and check it, till at least you get a
yeah,
little more
let's table
feedback
this
from
till
the,
next month and see
more
what's
feedback from the rest of the members as they get here and get a better call on it.
do we have some up there right now? Then?
Yeah, there's 3 of them up.
Okay.
One at the boat ramp, one at the pavilion, and one over at the playground.
Well, let's just table that, we'll put that back on next month.
Are you making a motion to table that for a month?
Yes.
Somebody should second.
I second that motion.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried.
I have ditches back on here again, Steve, because I really think we need to do something with them sometime. Right now might not be the time, but the reason I put it back on there again is because I don't know who to call. You're in that trade. I was hoping maybe you'd give me a couple names of businesses or something maybe we
Sure.
could call.
We're gonna have to go around and do some measuring
Right,
before
then we can get together and see.
call anybody. And I think we definitely need to get a culvert in running from Sherry's Corner
Across Main Street.
across that street. All that water sits in there at Brian's and Sherry's.
Yes, gets trapped right there in that spot. Main Street, there's some issues with it not draining on Main Street.
You want to get a big enough culvert. You don't want, they'll act as a dam otherwise.
Yeah. So I can get with you and we can do some measuring. We'll have to have a wheel so we can figure out how much ditch we're gonna need to clean and culverts to put in.
And then we have to inspect the culvert going across Main Street at the corner of Broadway too.
We'll have to find out if that's ours or the state's.
Yeah.
I think that's the state's culvert. It's draining the state's ditch.
That's
So
starting to
they need
collapse again.
They need to address that.
That's a nasty little hole right there right now. Somebody could get hurt in.
Maybe Shauna could track down that number and call them, and so that should be on our plate. So I'll get with you before the next month's meeting and we'll figure out how much ditch we gotta have cleaned, and we'll just call 3 or 4 contractors and get a bid, and,
Then we can present it to the board next month.
you know,
Sounds good to me. I tried to, I got Ron Blandow and Bob Gramley mixed up. I thought I was talking to Blandow, I was asking him about it, and actually I was talking to Marv Gramley. I've never met Blandow yet, I guess. No, that didn't do me any good. Just getting in this position, you'll learn a lot of new faces. It's hard to keep them all straight. What's your name again?
Let me check my ID.
Okay. Do we have anything else in the old business?
Fine.
Oh, that's right, sign.
yes. We went around and come up with, I don't know how many signs we needed. About approximate how many, 20?
Is that including the boat ramp signs?
Yep. We were looking at boat ramp and pavilion. Park closes at 10 p.m. and under it, no littering. It can all be on one sign. He quoted me a 12 by 18 was $25.10, and if we went bigger because of having the no littering under it, an 18 by 24 was $29.10. And we figured we'd need 2 of them, one at the boat ramp, one at the pavilion. Now, would you have to have one at the park where the kids play?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't know.
Is there a fine underneath
We
that for
can
littering?
get one
You can do
attached
that
at
if
the
you
bottom.
want. People, when they go to, then they just throw
Yeah.
everything
I know, I've been down
everywhere.
there
It's
picking
ridiculous.
some of it up. Yeah.
About, what do we have, about how many signs total? With street signs and approximately 20 some?
Maybe 15.
15.
But then we did barricades, because you were talking about barricades when water goes across the road.
Well, now that I've got Blandow and Gramley straightened out, all I have to do is call Gramley and he will take care of that for
Oh,
me.
okay.
But for our side too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all I gotta do is call him. I've got his cell phone now.
Because we had put on there to get water on pavement,
Yeah.
so if we don't need that,
Now, I don't know who takes care of the Broadway, but Blandow.
that's the
or-
state.
Gramley will take care of Main Street down by Carroll's house.
State is who you call for Broadway. So we can take that one off the list, and
That one was $40. And then the slow children at play and playground.
You need about, what, 3 or 4 of those? 3?
I think we said
And those are
3.
bright yellow, so that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Want one on both sides of the playground and one coming down the hill? Is that what you figured?
I wasn't thinking down the hill, we were just thinking
For the park.
on Washington Street, you know, coming
I know
from
Leo at
both
one
ways.
time mentioned that maybe when the speed limit signs change, maybe we ought to put one right there too. Or something, watch for children or,
There by the 35 sign.
Yeah.
right there by your house.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we need a motion from somebody to buy the signs. We've been talking about it for years. We do have a few that we did order a few years back for the parking at the boat ramp. They're in here.
Yeah.
What's the cost involved in the signs? Does anyone know?
Would you have a total
Well,
on
she's
everything?
down to around
I-
14. You're figuring about $25 a piece probably.
Depends on if you go bigger, they're more like 30.
Yeah.
And that's not your shipping and that either, but.
Well,
So. And if you're not doing barricades, those were $195 a piece, so.
so we could stay under $300 for signs.
I would say yes. Are we allowed to put like a stop sign coming out from the boat ramp?
Change that from a 3-way to a 4-way? It's kind of confusing.
I don't know. Yeah, because the people at the boat ramp, they don't have to stop. They can just barrel right through.
Yeah. And some of them do.
So I don't know if we can find out if
We could
you're
do that.
legally able to put one up there.
I think,
We can do that.
I mean, the main street
I think
coming
you-
into
We don't need
Cleveland.
one though. We don't have to buy one. There's one in the garage.
Oh, okay.
We'd have to change it to say 4-way though.
Yeah, because the sign
It says
under the
three-way
stop
right now.
sign says 3-way.
Yeah, and if you leave it at 3-way, then
Well, you could
So
just
we'd
change
have to
that
get a
one.
couple, or actually, we wouldn't have to put nothing on there. You go to 4. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to.
just
say
take that
anything.
off.
All we gotta do is take that off.
So we have a stop sign.
Yeah. There's one out in the garage.
Now, the park that's, the sign that says closes at 10 o'clock, is that just the playground then? Or is it, where's the park?
Everything that there's not a house on is considered the park down
So
there.
like the pavilion?
Yeah.
We would put one at the pavilion down by
If
the
somebody was
boat
gonna
ramp.
have a party and let us know, then you just make an exception.
Then that's different, you know.
It will
if it's
keep
rented
just a
out.
carload of kids from coming down and sitting on the picnic
That's,
tables.
that doesn't include the boat dock, right?
Yes, it would.
It would? Because I know a lot of people like to go catfishing at night, and that's something
And as
they're
long
gonna be
as,
in
you
there
know,
at
they're
night.
just parking their car and going, there's probably no problem, but if they're gonna sit at the boat ramp and hang out with their cars, and
shoot off fireworks. And
I agree with the park, the playground at 10
Are you
o'clock.
thinking like jugging and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I love to
Yeah.
fish,
Yeah.
and I don't want to, see 10 o'clock and then.
well, like I said, if you're just gonna go down there and put your boat in and go to the river, that's different than sitting down there drinking beer and throwing your cans in the parking lot and at midnight and
But you can also be ticketed for it if you go down there, so,
but not if we don't have it posted.
right.
Can I ask a question? Who's going to enforce all these when we put all of them up to make
Hold
sure?
on. What we'd have to do is make a phone call.
So every night they'd come down after 10 o'clock and do it?
Not necessarily, but let's
Sunday,
say
they're gonna have one.
somebody was over at the
Gonna
pavilion
go.
and keeping the neighbor up, they could call the police and the police would come down and run them out.
we had an incident here about a month ago where some kids were camping there. Kept 3 of the residents up all night. nobody called me till the next morning. Next morning, I go down and ask them if they had permission to camp there. This park's supposed to close at 10 o'clock. Well, legally, we don't have a sign up there saying so, so I was just kind of hoping that they were not smart enough to catch on, and they left on their own. But not after they left a complete mess, beer bottles, junk all over, toilet paper, hit the ditch coming out with two of their vehicles, just did a lot of damage to two of their three vehicles that they had there. But the biggest thing was, three of the residents were kept up all night. And there really wasn't anything a cop could have done because it's not posted. So we would like to get a curfew sign up on the park so that if this happens again, then the police can just come in and say, this park closed at 10 o'clock. You have to pack your stuff and leave.
So I will make a motion that we buy the signs that are needed around town, not to exceed $300. Because we're gonna need some signposts, a few.
You're gonna need an ordinance.
You gotta take care of that for us.
Yeah, but what's the hours gonna be?
On,
The park. 10 to what time in the morning?
well, it just closes at 10, so.
Yeah, but you have to have an opening time. 10 to 4?
Times the sun come up.
5? Something? I don't know.
Well,
Right now.
it fluctuates to some degree.
I don't know, anybody got any ideas?
10 to 6?
Leave it 5 a.m.?
5 would probably be
5. 10 to 5.
daylight.
We also notice on High Street, there's no signs saying High Street.
They're missing too?
They were taken a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Is that a part of your package there? You've got them?
I thought they were on there.
I wrote it here, but I didn't get a quote on it. They're just the smaller green ones.
Yeah.
If I may, there's a sign up, two up on High Street as you turn on to High Street that's been defaced as well.
And what's that one say? Do you know, Mike?
It's a curve sign, but it's been defaced.
Oh, it shows the S curve there.
Yes. Yes.
We'll have to check on one of them too. Okay, Steve's got a motion on the floor to buy signs not to exceed $300.
Well, now we've added another 2 signs, so we
Yeah.
maybe better go 350.
Okay, $350.
I'll second that motion.
Brian's going to second that. If the money matters, we'll probably have to take a roll call.
And go ahead and start with Trustee Comodina.
I say yes, but then I say no to the sign
At the pavilion.
at the boat dock.
Boat dock.
Boat dock.
Well,
Not the
you can't yes, no vote.
The curfew one. I don't agree with that at the boat dock, so I don't know if I should say yes or no.
If you don't want it, you should vote no. They can change the motion and to half of what you want or whatever, or not. I mean, that's up to you, but you.
Just the curfew.
Yeah. So I'd say no then.
How can we do this? Can we table,
Just
let's
that
table
one.
well, I hate to buy part of the signs. I guess we're not gonna get a break on them anyway.
I don't know, unless, once I call and say what we're wanting.
We could table the part about the park closing at 10 till next month, when there's hopefully more people here.
We got to have the ordinance passed anyway.
Well, let's exclude the 3 signs that say park closed at
Colonial
10.
Park down there, their boat ramp, is there a curfew on that? Ray?
That what?
Is there a curfew on Colonial boat ramp?
I can't say, I don't know, on the top of my head. No.
I don't think so.
No.
I've been down there, there ain't.
I'm curious. I know a lot of residential areas do put curfews if their boat ramp's in the residential area, which this one is. And we have neighbors yet get kept up because of the horseplay that goes on at the boat ramp after hours. I know I've had one resident complain to me a couple times about it.
Okay,
She
so back to business.
Doesn't
Let's-
like the characters that hang around after dark. That close
Let's
to their
exclude
property.
the 3 signs for park closes at 10. Order the rest of the signs. And we'll table the park closing at 10 till next month. Good enough?
So you still want the motion to read to purchase the signs needed for the village, not to exceed $350, with the exception of the no park closed signs.
Yes, perfect.
And do you still second that?
I still second that.
Okay. So roll call vote to Taryn Comodina.
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Balaguer.
Yes.
And Mayor Waterman.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
All right, on to the next issue.
Old business, I was on there, I remember, was supposed to check on the furnace downstairs.
Oh, yes.
The guy that normally does it will come and take a look at it, but he is very busy, and I told him whenever he can get here to call, and we'll have Sean unlock it for him and let him in. He's busy on air conditioners, so I told him it was no hurry. But he has been notified, and he will get here at his earliest convenience.
All right. As far as our old business thing here, the tires are gone. I don't know if everybody noticed that. I got rid of the tires that we had left over from the pickup days. I got them disposed of.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
That's all right. Taryn, did you ever talk to Jimmy or
I did.
do they know where our law books are?
I think you're supposed to call Mr. White.
I
for
did.
that.
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, he didn't return my
He
call.
said to call you, said to have you call him for that.
I did. He didn't return my call.
I had no idea. That's what I got.
Well, I certainly don't have, I never looked at them in the 10 years I was in here.
Well, we know is we can't find them, and we're kind of curious where they was. There's a couple other little things. We can't find them.
Municipal
Maybe you know.
handbooks.
Do you know where the title is to the village truck? We can't find
That
it.
truck was bought, and it should have been in the state deposit box.
not in there.
It was bought before I came here by Richardson. The
Title-
title, I understand what.
You know, happen to know where it's at, Mike?
That title, I have no idea where it's at, because I didn't see it ever when I got in here in '02, and that was already bought. So I was assuming it was in the safety deposit box with all these property titles.
I don't recall ever even having seen it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just have to apply for a loss
You just
claim.
have to apply for a lost one and then pay that. I don't know. You'd have to ask Jack Richardson, because he's the one that bought it. Maybe he's got it.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to try Jim again. Hey, Sean, you got down here, did you ever get a hold of AT&T about the bat house? About
No.
that pole?
I didn't.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
They got pretty much said it wasn't their pole. You just had to check with AT&T, and there's nothing on it, so I almost think we could probably go ahead with that. Maybe I'll put it on next month's agenda.
Yeah, I'll have that taken care of.
And you got a copy of Robert's Rules of Orders for Dummies. Well, we got some reading to do before next month and see if we want to adopt
And
any.
these were compliments of that page where I found it. So everybody got a little cheat sheet. Thought it was neat. Might be helpful.
Everybody's got some reading to do, so we can see if we want to adopt any of that for next month or down the road or whatever. Do we have anything else under old business?
I don't believe so.
I forgot Shauna made me my little cheat sheet here.
Did we ever figure out mosquito spraying?
Yeah,
They've
that's
been
good.
doing it.
They did?
They're
Okay.
doing it, yeah.
Same last night.
Yeah, what has it been this year? I don't know if it's really doing much good, but they're coming around.
It helps. The river's going down and they're starting to get back right. It is helping right where I'm at.
Well, we've got them going down every alley, every road, backing down to their boat ramp. Even they're supposed to be even going up and down these streets here, so it gets everybody's getting hit by more than just one angle.
This back here is not good the way it's sitting.
Yeah.
You used to put Mugabug in it. You guys do that or Mugabug?
Oh, yeah,
The-
the round
Never heard of
things.
it.
Bricks?
Yeah, do we have them?
Yeah.
There's still some out there. Yeah, now that the water's stagnant there, could throw some in it. All right. Well, move to new business?
That is one thing too we need to look at.
How many bugs we got?
Now, this water being held back. It never used to be that way.
Yeah, I know it. When the water went down, it used to go
Put
down.
another culvert in on the end of Jackson. And while we're taking bids on ditches.
Yeah, so we can get that out of there.
Gonna take and get a motion.
Yeah, it never used to stand there. I remember living here down years ago, and it went down, it went down.
Ever since they raised that road back there.
That's one of the back and six, so they did.
You on to new business?
About getting it online.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get onto this pickup.
Brakes on the truck, I got you an estimate from Firestone.
Okay.
If they have to replace the
Yeah. Yeah, there's two
calipers,
places
which
that
I
I can
can't
go.
see that they would be bad,
And it's not gonna be about
it would be
$10.
$333 for the rears. If they can just go in and put pads on,
Remember, you can ask them.
99
What's
bucks.
Either way.
333 versus 99.
I can't think the rotors will be bad with 11,000 miles, but
One on the break up.
It's definitely a rear one that's dragging on it.
they were
I haven't
hot.
even drove the thing. so-
They were hot. So, and they'll do an inspection for free, so they can tell us.
We need to make a point with them to take it up there for the inspection, or
Anytime.
just take it up anytime? Is anybody free to do that? And which Firestone is it, Steve?
The one by South Park. I'm working in Moline. I could probably take it down there one morning and have one of the guys pick me up. And they could have it for the day.
What do you want?
But I don't want to take it down there twice. I mean,
Right.
if something's bad, let's approve to fix it. There's no sense of not fixing it.
Right.
If there's nothing wrong, it could have just been a freak thing that had sat so long in the salt on it that they were stuck.
Anybody got anything?
I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't know the brakes were stuck.
Yeah. When I took it to the car wash, washed the salt off of it, and when I got back, they were steaming in the back. So, at the worst case, it's gonna be $333.
You have to have it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
It's not critical at this point, but come winter it will be.
well, there's no sense in sitting in there
Right.
and not being able to use it, so.
Yeah, that's one of the worst
I
things
thought
for
we'd
them.
just put brakes on it, but We paid somebody to put brakes on it 6 months ago.
So there should be, if they did, there should be a warranty on the brakes then, right?
That was one caliber, I believe. It was locked up. Jim replaced it up there when the snow was coming or something. One, I think, and a battery. But there was no warranty on the paper.
That's why we better take it to a place where there is warranty,
Yeah.
and if something goes wrong, you take it back.
Right, because the liability for doing brake work is quite high. If you had to buy insurance to do brake work, that's one of the highest insurance you can buy. I know that when I had my shop. So, in that respect, I don't want to really touch it, even though I'm sure I could do it. I don't want to touch it. I'd hate to see anybody else touch it. I just think have somebody that's going to give us a warranty, that's licensed and bonded, do it. Maybe I'll have.
Well, they'll check it out for free. If they just got to put pads on, it's $99, and worst scenario, it's $333. So,
Well, you want to make the motion yourself then, to, if it's doesn't exceed $333, to fix it?
yeah, let's make that motion, and I will get it down there
Does
next week.
333 include tax?
I believe so.
Okay.
Or you can say $350, whatever.
Not to exceed 350 is the easiest way to go, gives you the,
There you go. So I will make a motion that we take the truck to Firestone to get the brakes checked out, and if they need to fix them, it should not exceed $350.
I second that motion.
All right. Mayor Waterman,
Yes.
Trustee Valiger,
Yes.
Trustee Davis,
Yes.
Trustee Comodina.
Yes.
The motion is
that's
carried.
what I'm thinking, the clerk asked, was it $10? Yeah, how much did you need authority?
Oh, yeah, it would be about $10.
Okay.
Yep.
She wants to purchase the Robert's Rules booklet. She'd like to have just permission to send, make it $15, not to exceed $15.
Okay.
You don't want taxes involved in that.
Well, I thought you just got in there and kind of stole them from somewhere.
No.
Somebody want to make a motion there, or you want to read that off what you like, Fiona? We want to purchase this Robert Rule of Order for Dummies.
Just authorize the clerk to spend up to $15 to get
Yeah.
it.
I want to authorize the clerk to spend up to $15 to get this purchased. I didn't have time to read all that. I thought that was it. What is it, a big old book, Sean?
No, it didn't look very big. It, it's paperback.
Big
It looked-
enough.
And it's big
Pretty
print,
thin.
but it's big print. It's for dummies.
So,
like me.
right, because,
Yeah, it's a good
regular
book.
Robert's Rules of Order, it's not that big, but,
Well, Leo was
Yes.
really wanting
Want
to get.
enough?
if we get one, then, we can either pass it around, or we can make some copies. It's up to you.
I think what
which
you ought to
can
do is
get
order
more
one
than
now,
one,
pass
and
around,
take
if
a
everybody
look
likes
at
it, then order more.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
okay.
You making that motion?
Are you
I'll make the motion to buy the Robert's Rules for Dummies,
not to exceed $15?
whatever it costs.
Okay. Need a second on that?
I second that.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do roll call on that.
Yep.
Trustee Davis,
Yes.
Trustee Comodina,
Yes.
Trustee Balaguer,
Yes.
and Mayor Waterman.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
Now we go on to the next one. Who requested this to be under, Shauna?
Me.
Oh. Building permits for,
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about number 9.
No.
I'm sorry, I was lost. Number 8, I believe Trustee Balaguer had asked questions about
Yeah.
that.
Do we have Linda, do you guys have a permit for your building that you're putting up?
All of them. You know more about it than I do.
Maybe you could ask him
Yeah,
when you
right.
call him.
I'll try to call him again. I'll ask him about that too.
Trustee Boggs may be able to provide you with some information on that, if I may. Trustee Krogman was here today on the phone with him, and he had been contacted by Jim White because the building permits were in question. He was under the understanding that he did not need building permits to put up a pole barn. I'm not exactly sure what Dan had responded to him with, so you might want to contact Dan.
Don't we, the
Have
judge,
information.
from my application, I don't remember, but I thought that we were using the building inspector from Kelowna
Yes.
to do that. And I think we're under the International Building Code.
Yes.
I
I
think,
don't know what code we adopted.
I'm pretty sure we adopted that way.
Yeah, I think we did too.
All I'm really asking is, if he should be telling us whether or not there's one needed.
We don't have him anymore. He's not on our payroll anymore.
Dan Boggs is going to become, or he thinks he's going to become, the new building inspector for Kelowna, and at that point, we could adopt him as our building inspector also.
Can't do that. You can't do 2 jobs here. When you're ready to have a shutter.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe we can talk to Jason Shetter, see if he wants to be our new building inspector.
Well, he's still got to have a permit. He's in city limits and he's in a
Well-
floodplain.
The biggest thing, he should have to have something from, because he is in a floodplain, he should have to have a building
FEMA.
from FEMA.
Yeah, we do have a floodplain ordinance, and it's in the other room. If you would like to review that, then you could make a decision off of that, or
I believe Leo, when we was adopting the building code, the International Building Code, said that in that code, we could apply for permits and put up like a 24 by 24, 576 square foot building. But even at that, you'd still have to have a permit from FEMA for it.
Well, somebody can contact FEMA easy enough, find out what the situation is there. But what the International Code calls for and doesn't call for building permits, whether pole barns are excused or not, I can't tell you because I don't know.
No, it's building's a building down here.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. We went through it when we put the pavilion up. Only reason we had to put the pavilion up is we wasn't putting sides on it so the water can travel through it. Well, Shauna has another job to do this week.
who would you like for me to contact?
Oh, probably you're gonna have to call FEMA. And then I suppose Cambridge to see if there's been one applied for. They can send out the county inspector. Moving on.
Okay. Now, this is yours, right?
This is mine.
This is yours.
I spoke with Jim in Silvis, the clerk, and he recommended that I join the Municipal Clerks of Illinois and work on becoming registered. Well, I'm taking this one step at a time. Membership for Municipal Clerks of Illinois is $45. And I attached the email from Cheryl Cookie. They believe that it's going to give me some resources. Open it up to where if I have any kind of questions, then I can contact the members of the Municipal Clerks of Illinois, and they have probably ran into this situation before and help to answer problems and try to resolve them. So I thought maybe it would be a good idea. I certainly love resources.
That $45 fee, is that an annual fee? Is that a?
It is annual, yes. She says that they can't prorate it. It is what it is. You join when you join. Membership forms are usually sent out in August, due in September. I could wait to join. That would be just fine. It's certainly up to you. She's already given me access to the Municipal Clerks of Illinois website, and pretty much just welcomed me in. So I just look to
Would
you for
you
that.
opposed to just waiting until September then?
I'm not opposed, no.
And I suppose if you find out the first year that they're not helping you, then just don't reinstate you. And,
That would be just
I think for a new clerk, it's a good idea,
yeah.
at least the first year.
Yeah. Is that all right then, to just put it on like August agenda, or do you want it on right away?
Well, I feel she's already given me access to the site, that, they're welcoming me now. So I'd hate to turn around and tell her, well, my board doesn't want to do this right now.
Well, we're going to have to spend $45 now, and then in another 2 months we're going to have
Right.
to spend
See, I don't know. So we can put it off till August. That would be just fine. And I can get back into contact with her. And
Well, you can just blame the board, say my doggone board wouldn't put us till August. Otherwise,
Well, work
I'd
it out.
Don't you
Right.
think, Gilly? Blame him.
Yeah.
They aren't going to call him.
July.
Yes, I understand, yes. So they send the membership forms out in August. They're due in September. October begins the new year. So the new membership
Fiscal year.
So
You have the form already?
I do. It is
Oh.
attached to the email that is in your information. Yes, I do. So you've got everything there to look at. You put it in an August file, and even if whenever you okay it, it's just fine by me. That's fine.
I think it's only a couple months. I think you're
That's
gonna
right.
go ahead, let her blame you.
Yeah. Well, it's less than 2 months, month and a half. Or a month, she's got to send the check in, right? August?
It's due in September. So yes, if you approve it,
If you approve it,
next
send it in for
month.
next year. You can do it now.
then
send
I'm
it in for
good.
next year.
Yeah, then I'm good until August of 2014. Yes. So
Let's
that's
make
just
sure
fine.
that gets put on next month's agenda in August.
Okay.
Really, it's only 3 weeks away.
Is that everything? Anybody have anything else?
Sharon? Guys got
I'm
anything?
sorry, Dave.
Public comment?
Yep, public comment.
Last month, I understand that Lisa's went through as much as she could on the treasurer's reports and bank accounts and said there wasn't anything missing, but I understand that there's been a lot of people, which was said that was new, that said we were stealing money out of the accounts. And I got a little disturbed over that, but I knew there was nothing wrong, and I didn't find anything wrong. We took. You make statement of, you said that you never said anything like that, or where did all this come from? It bothered me that you were told us.
I said that you were stealing money.
That's just what I heard. You never told me that.
No, no. Then I don't know how I can make a statement on it if I never told you that.
But it's been said that you said it to someone else.
Well,
I mean, it's just curious, and the years I worked with Lisa, I never ever heard anything like that in the 5 years I worked with her, that she's taking money out of it. I was already eyed everything that she did. So, in retrospect, I was sitting there thinking, oh, why in the hell would I ever want a damn job like that if people start pointing a finger at me?
I don't know, but I'm not even going to comment on this witch hunt things that you guys keep trying to bring up. We're here to public comment to try to do things to help the village. We're not here for witch hunts.
That being said, also, that I did check with the most recent elections and found out there was a couple people from Kelowna came down here and voted. So, nothing's perfect here. Okay. Need to try to fix that. I have submitted those names in to see if anybody wants to do anything about it. I'm not going to get all excited about it. It's over, it's over. But the registrar list needs to be cleaned up. And that comes basically right in your office. Let's clean up the register list.
It
I
does
have 3 daughters that don't live with me anymore. And they're still on the register list.
Yes.
I need to get that cleaned up. Everybody needs to clean up their own backyard, and I don't like the idea of someone coming and voting that don't live here.
Yeah, I don't either. I especially don't.
So who's that up to, Rick, to clean it up?
It's up to their daughters.
It's up to
Well,
your daughters to do
and I
it.
put it off too, and I kept telling them, don't come down here just because I'm up or something, and don't do that, it's illegal. But,
Wilbur and Jane Owens are still on the list too. They haven't lived here since '05.
yeah,
I can't take them off the list.
I don't know what to do about it.
I don't know either. I'd like to see them off.
We've
there's-
called, Cambridge will not take anyone off the
No.
list. You have to,
I think they have to personally make that call.
you have to register in
I don't
another,
really know.
wherever you're at. You have to register there, then you automatically come off any other list.
Truly.
Hey, somebody needs to tell people not to drive their go-karts up behind the kids in the swings. They drive them right into all that mulch stuff, and they drove right up to the kids that was in the swinging.
When did this happen?
Huh?
When did this happen?
Week or two ago. And I think it's very dangerous, little kids out there swinging and driving their golf cart right up to them.
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening.
I have one more thing. As far as improving village roads, we're going to do any roads, anything this year, didn't do anything last year. This Thurston Street and Vine and Mulberry and Maine will just completely keep falling apart if we don't do anything about it. This is the worst one here, Thurston, come across that. A lot of water gets on that. I just wondered if you had planned on any budgeting for road work.
Don't know.
I think
Probably
Main
not this
Street
year.
is horrible. There's a huge hole in Main Street.
Yes. Maine, yeah, well, that needs to be fixed,
Yes,
but
that one's
any
bad.
road work planned, or I know that there's, we depleted quite a bit when we did up here, 20,000. We're down to 60,000, and we don't collect near as much as we used to. I think you're probably starting to see that.
I know Charles Street's really going to heck too.
Your driveway?
It ain't my driveway. It's Charles Street.
While we're on, I forgot to bring this up. It's still not done up on top of the hill.
Oh,
The corner by hers going into Andrea, we need dirt.
How much you
So,
figure we need?
right at Tandem Road. So we need to do something about that. I told him we would take care of it. He's had to put posts out there so people are cutting his corner. It's hard for him to mow. There's about a 8-inch drop off.
Yeah, that was supposed to have been done, all taken care of on that High
Right.
Street project.
Right.
Do we want to approve a tandem load of dirt for there?
We
don't
should.
have it on the agenda, but we could backtrack that into ditches.
Yeah.
I don't know where we get a tandem load from in town here. So that stuff you get off the river bottom really isn't good
No.
dirt. That should not go up for fill. How do we want?
It's
Yeah.
basically got to go right down into his ditch also. It's pretty bad on that corner.
Do we want to see if we can get that estimated in with the, when we do the,
Well, it's
Bids on the
something we
ditches?
can do with that tractor if we just get the load of dirt.
we want to put it on next month's agenda? We want to try and approve one now?
Might get it done before next month so he can get some grass growing. So I will make a motion that we obtain a load of black dirt to finish the project on the corner of High Street and Andrea Court.
Yeah, that project's still isn't finished. Do you have an estimate on a tandem load?
Not to exceed $200.
I thought that, my memory may be wrong, but I thought that Alderman had a, or anybody for like an upper limit they could order on their own, like $200 or something like that.
What was that?
I thought they had a policy here before that you could go out if something came up between the
Right.
times
Right.
in order to help the place function.
Yeah.
And that that
Well,
it kind
this
of.
is just a project that never got completed.
Yeah, this-
so.
Well, all I'm saying is if it's a $200 job, if that's what you don't have to worry about the motion of the thing being on your own authority with that 200, but I think that was, but my recollection is not 100%. And I wasn't here the whole time.
Well, actually, this is unfinished business from
Right.
last year.
Yeah.
It needs to be finished.
Just so that we know there's gonna be a bill coming for a load of dirt. And there is a big hole right straight out here in that lot. We can dump the load there, what we don't use can fill that hole. It's gonna take most of it up there, I just don't know where we can dump it. Unless we can get it delivered at the time we're gonna use it. We can dump it right on the corner, but if we're working and they wanna deliver it, there's not really a place up there to dump it. Unless we would put it in the south ditch on the other side of the road. I'll look into that, dumping it somewhere up there so we don't have to haul it up there.
If you have a time or whatever that you're thinking about doing this, let me know. Glad to help.
Probably on a Sunday.
Well, that's what I was hoping you'd say.
Gary, you got anything?
Anything else from anybody?
I'll do to adjourn.
Motion
Getting hot in here.
adjourn.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right.
All in favor? Yay.
I got them, I just didn't bring it with me.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're aware of this.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring that
No,
up.
no, I don't want you to. I'm sure you're aware of it.
Dan's working. Sherry, I thought went to Florida.
Yeah.
She's at work.
Oh,
You give that to Terry. Sorry, guys.
Are you ready?
There you go.
Shauna, you and Brian. And I sent this one in separate, and she put them all on one
Just
agenda.
between us two.
She's not listening.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we do with all these that aren't?
Just don't start fighting with it. Say that unless Terry says something, all done it. That's the only copy I've got. You can have it if you want, but,
Was this sent to you?
yeah.
And Sherry's
Making you aware of
hook
it.
up with Shauna probably.
You
I
want
hate to
Sherry's?
leave them in a,
I can Yeah, I can get that to her. I can call her and just tell her to swing by my house
If there is,
tonight.
do anything, we're
That's
not
fine.
gonna, he's not gonna, he doesn't.
Yeah, I
wanna
started
I'll
reading
text her.
some of
petty
it.
stuff either.
Feels like this last drive up by his house. I got two of them.
That's not yours.
But those are also different towns, and there's gonna be a lot more.
Okay,
Especially
want me to hang on to it?
Rock Island. Rock Island looks pretty good.
Oh,
Have a lot of rules.
Yeah, they should
I forgot
though.
last.
right here.
No. The police. So now I gotta do one for two.
We get like on it.
Yeah, we did. They're gonna not, they don't come down here right away. But I did forget that again. They're gonna find them.
You're not gonna get that one.
Good, very good. I got your email.
Right, sounds good.
I got your email.
Yeah, you did.
Good.
Yes, I got it back. Let's just wait and make it.
I wish I checked it, but I don't.
Just make sure you get your page.
Okay, that's all right.
My phone got messed up and clear everything out. So I used to be able to check on my phone. That bad now, it'd be a lot easier.
So I had it out in the water.